Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome to Surviving Mars Green Planet. You guys seem to really enjoy the last series we did on the channel, and I certainly had a lot of fun playing it. It was, after all, my first playthrough of Surviving Mars, and we learned a lot of hard lessons. Now enough time has passed that I've forgotten all of those hard-earned lessons, so that's going to make our second playthrough that much more interesting, especially because I intend to ramp up the difficulty all the way to maximum. This is a max difficulty challenge run, and it's probably going to end in tears, but we're going to try for it anyway. Now, the downside of going for a max difficulty run is we're kind of shooed into a very specific setup. We have to go for Paradox Interactive as our mission sponsor because they have the highest difficulty rating. We have to go for the Futurist. Colony logo, doesn't matter too much. I'm going to go for Final Countdown because boss music intensifies. We have to choose one of the hard mysteries. Mars Gate could be kind of okay for me, or maybe Wildfire. No idea what the difference is, so we're going to go for Mars Gate. Rival Colonies doesn't actually impact the difficulty rating, so I'll leave that alone. And then for our game rules, we have to choose everything below overfunded. So Tech Variety is going to randomize what techs we get in the game. Usually each map seed at each coordinate has a predetermined set of technologies. With it randomized, we might get lucky with some really good stuff early on, or we might find that we can't get our basic technology up and running and we're really screwed. Who knows? Amateurs, no specialists, terrible. Armageddon, lots of meteors. Dust in the wind, dust storms. Hunger, can't import food. Inflation, import prices go up even if you could import it. Long ride, rockets take 3 times longer to travel. Rebel yell, so we can have renegades and crime, and even our domes might try to become independent if things get really out of control. The last arc is one of the most difficult of the bunch, though. We can only call 1 passenger rocket for the entire game. Whatever that starting population is, that's it. That's all we got. We have to rely on natural births to carry up our population for the rest of the game. Obviously pretty darn hard. Twister for Dust Devils, and Winter is coming for Cold Waves. We've turned Mars into a literal hell. Now we have to decide what's going to go onto our rocket. I'm going to name this thing the Hopeless because I feel kind of hopeless the more I'm thinking about this. For prefab buildings, we could go for all of this as is right now, and I think that's probably sort of okay. I mean, maybe another Stirling generator would be better than a drone hub, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe we could do that. Then again, it costs a lot of money, and I might need that money to buy more goods from Earth before the price goes up too much. So we'll stick with 1 to get us started, but yeah, I think we'll just go with the kind of basic setup there. Everything else here I think is fine. We're just going to go for defaults then. I think that's all right. Now we have to choose our starting coordinates for the game. And every different map seed, every coordinate does have a different difficulty associated with it, but depending on the demographics of that map. The Surviving Mars community has scoured the planet to find the single most difficult start that you can possibly find, and that is at 41 North, 111 West. There it is. Increases difficulty challenge up to 1,075%. As far as we know, the highest possible difficulty in the game. Really nasty start, too. It has a very high altitude, which can be good for wind farming, I suppose. Mean temperature is very low, and it is very mountainous. Not much in the way of metals, concrete, or water either. So this is going to be horrible for us, basically. But okay, you know, we'll give it a shot. And if it turns out that things go horribly and either the series ends unexpectedly in tears, or we have to reload and learn some more lessons, then so be it. I'm okay with that. I just want to get rid of the handicap and have some fun with it, you know what I mean? All right, now we have to decide where to land our rocket. And this is where you can kind of cheese the game a little bit to start off. We have some probes, and I'll go ahead and launch, let's say 1, 2, 3, kind of like this to show you what's over here. You can then restart the map and launch your probes in other places to try and find a really optimal location. Now, I've already done that to some extent, and I find that this is perhaps one of the better starts available in the game, a fair bit of room to work with, some concrete, some metals, some water, etc., all of which is obviously very, very important. Over here's not too bad, lots of density of resources in my particular map seed, but not a lot of surface material, which means no surface metals, means no piping, no electric wires, etc. All pretty darn rough. So we're going to stick with this location down over here. And I'm going to have to set up my rocket. Now we have to be careful with where we place this. I do want to be able to gather up. Can we get rid of this tutorial? I'm pretty sure I turned that off. I want to be able to gather up some of the metals that are going to be over here, but I also want to be in range of, let's say, our water and so on. So Maybe over here would be an okay starting location, something kind of like this. Sure, question mark. We're going to go ahead and launch the rocket and place it right there. All right, what do we have for our research? This is really crucial right here. Terraforming, don't really care. Biotech, hygroscopic vaporators, increasing water production. Pretty good. Does cost extra resources in order to make it work, but pretty good. Low-G hydrosynthesis, good for polymer factories. Nice if I felt like I needed a lot of polymers. Not sure that I do, but it does unlock fuel refineries as well, so at least it's nice to see that's there. Explorer AI, extra science per soul for each RC Explorer. I could see that being pretty helpful for me, actually, in the early game. Extractor amplification for extra extracting of water and such, but it does increase power consumption. Might be worth it. We do start with autonomous sensors, and also receive a one-time grant of $1 billion. So the thing about social, right, is by picking this up, we can unlock more social text down here, and some of them can get me more science, and others can get me more applicants for my one and only passenger rocket. So if we got really lucky with this, we might discover some other great stuff. As it is, though, I think I'm going to go for the Explorer AI, because I'm going to get an Explorer soon, and I would like to be able to double up how much science I am gaining. So that's going to have to be okay. For our exploration, let's go ahead and set up there, and then down here, and then, I don't know, here. That all seems okay at the moment. Maybe one down here. Here. I'm just trying to explore some of the nearby areas. We'll probably want to build a ramp down into different parts of the map so we can continue to explore. I guess we'll do something right there or something. I guess that'll be all right. Okay, for now, that's fine. For now, that is A-okay. All right, we found water on Mars, which means to start with a little extra science. That's certainly quite nice. The rocket is about to land. We will need to place down some storage yards and so on, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. Where do I think I'm going to place down my first dome? Great question. Could place it up over here, close to the water and everything else. Probably better to place it down over here, close to a metals source, because we will want to be able to extract metals, because there's not going to be a lot of surface deposits available in the game. So that's probably going to be what we end up doing, placing the dome right down over here. If that's the case, then I want to plan around that at least a little bit. We'll probably place our vaporators and stuff over here, and maybe some concrete mining over here. No, I want to make sure we have the tightest knit group of stuff possible, just to minimize how much metal we have to spend on power cables and on pipes. I'll probably place concrete over here, and then maybe our vaporators and such right over here, with the expectation the dome's going to go in this area. Yeah, I want to keep them far enough away that we don't get a ton of dust, increasing maintenance, but that's going to have to be okay. So, Explorer, you already have a couple things you can go do. Why don't you go over Scan Anomaly, see if you can find some new technologies that could be helpful. Let's place down some universal depots and stuff, or actually, better yet, let's go ahead and place down some buildings and see where we're going to be doing stuff. So, a concrete extractor over here, for example, seems okay, but we want to stay out of range of the dust as much as we can. So I want to keep things kind of over here. So let's place down our moisture vaporator, I think right over here should be okay, followed by a fuel refinery, kind of like this. And then we'll place down some piping from here to here. Okay. That all seems good. Then we also need to place down our Stirling generator just so we can get started with all of our fuel refining needs, because I do need to be able to launch the rocket pretty much ASAP. Now, the reason I want to do that, if we take a look here at the command center, nope, that's not it. Maybe it's mission profile. There we go. There are 5 challenges I would like to complete. Research 2 breakthrough technologies, land a colonist on Mars by Sol 15, analyze 30 anomalies, construct a megadome, and research 9 breakthrough techs. This is the only one that's time-sensitive, and landing colonists by Sol 15 is actually a little bit rough. We aren't going to have a ton of time to work with. I kind of need to start producing fuel pretty much on day 1, so that's why we are going to be doing that. Let's go ahead and place down a universal depot. I think right along here is probably what I want to do, so we'll go ahead and do that, but I'm not going to allow fuel to be set up there. Instead, I want to place fuel probably over here. Reason I do that is just in case the fuel explodes, I don't want it to take everything else with it. That would obviously be pretty terrible for me. Let's see. We do need to get these power cables set up. Now, I guess I can go ahead. Let me think. Where am I going to be placing my next fuel refinery and stuff? What we can do is probably run this directly over here like so. And I'll place... I don't know. We'll find out. I'll probably place a fuel refinery and another water vaporator right over here. I want them close to each other, but I want the vaporators spread just far enough apart that they don't overlap and reduce individual efficiency. You know what I mean? That obviously would not be the best situation for me. All right, so once this is done, I guess we can go for the extra money because that means more imports from Earth before we lose too much. That's kind of okay. Speaking of imports from Earth, let's go ahead and get some supply pods. I would like to get a commander so we have a mobile source of drones just in case things go wrong. A dust storm could knock all my drones out and then I would just die. So let's go ahead and launch one of those. I also want to get transport so we can gather up some additional resources without needing the drone range. So we'll go ahead and launch that. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and also get another moisture vaporator and fuel refinery. I know this costs me a lot of my cash, but it lets me double up my fuel production so that we will be able to launch the rocket on time and get people here by Sol 15. That is going to be the goal.
Milestone achieved.
Okay, we get a bit of extra science from this. Fuel compression and greenhouse Mars. Well, we don't care about greenhouse. That's irrelevant. Fuel compression, rocket cargo space increased by 10,000 kilograms. Could be helpful. We can only have one passenger rocket, but we can have plenty of cargo rockets. That's not the issue. The issue is whether I can produce enough fuel and whether the prices on Earth are ever going to be affordable enough to justify it. That's the real trick, and the answer is, I don't know. Let's go scan this anomaly over there, then we're going to come down over here and scan this anomaly while we continue working on the scanning. Speaking of scanning, we can also speed this up. We should probably do so by getting some sensor towers. And I'll just go ahead and place one like here, and one up over here, one over here. Just spread them out a little bit, not that it matters too much. These guys do not require power because we started with a futurist commander, which is really nice. We don't have to worry about putting these up here on the cables and stuff and using up our precious power, so I do like seeing some of that. Down over here with our concrete extractor, we do need to be placing down someplace to dump all of our excess nonsense. We'll go ahead and do that there. There you go. And let's see, we do not have enough power. Ah, yes, we don't have enough power if we run the extractor at night right now. Let's go ahead and just do the fuel refining, keep that going all day, every day. We do need to get some more power going, though. I think wind turbines are going to end up being the most obvious solution. Wind turbines are pretty good at high altitude, which is what we currently have. So let's go ahead and place one of those down here. And they're also good in dust storms. The only downside of dust storms, of course, being that maintenance for pretty much everything goes up, which is just truly terrible. So we're going to hope to not have to deal with a lot of those. What's this? We discovered rare metals deposits. Okay, so yeah, if we had colonists on Mars and a dome over here, we could extract this, and this would let me send stuff back to Earth, get some money, and possibly buy more goods. How useful is that going to be? Don't know. I really don't know how useful that's going to be because I know that the prices on Earth are going to become astronomical at some point. Oh well. So be it. Okay, we have just enough polymers to build... Oh, hello. Found some more metals. We have just enough polymers to build our first dome when we do eventually decide to start getting some people, so that will be nice. Found another anomaly. Okay, so once you're done with that, let's go ahead and move over here. We can land our supply pods now, and I don't see any reason not to just go ahead and do that now. We can salvage these pods after they're done and get some metals out of them, which is really great considering I really need some metals, so that'll be nice. Let's go ahead and land, and poof, there we go. All right, transport. You, sir, are going to... Get rid of these stupid tutorials. You are going to start gathering up all the metal and drop it off up over there. There you go. You, Mr. Commander, I don't know what to do with yet. We don't need more drones up over here at the moment. What we could do is start building some ramps down into other areas. A ramp down over here would be pretty quick. I guess we could do that, just opening up some more territory. So if we do something like this, for example, it'll still take a little while, but at least it's manageable. Let's go ahead and send the commander off this direction. We'll start digging this out, and we'll be able to get access to a whole new plateau of stuff once we scan things. New anomaly done. Reduce the cost of robotics text by 10%. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. Sure, why not? That's great. Okay, so transport's gonna be busy for a bit. We need to find more anomalies for my Explorer, but the good news is the Explorer should be getting me some more science as soon as we are done with the Explorer's AI, and we actually do have a 10% cost reduction, so now we're gonna get it slightly faster than we did before. Oh, right, let's also make sure we go ahead and salvage these. There we go, and boom? Well, eventually boom. Kaboom! There we go, now they're gone. Mandatory upgrades. The Mission HQ on Earth has declared the effectiveness of our resource extraction as a main priority. I agree. The Extractor Amplification Project has received a massive funding increase and a lot of scientific focus is on it. The top brass wants you to begin installing the new upgrades as soon as possible. Gain a supply pod with 10 drones and 60 polymers, or reveals the rest of the amplification texts and they cost 20% less. 60 polymers is awesome, 10 drones is not. Rest of the amplification texts. I'm doing that. Okay, so what do we find? We found factory amplification. We found research amplification. Well, they're cheaper, which is nice. And we just made some other things that we got, such as the extractor amplification tech, a lot cheaper. It's now only 500. So, I mean, it's okay. I'm surprised that doesn't apply to the vaporators over here. I don't know, 60 polymers actually could have been pretty good. Maybe that was the right call instead of science. But at the same time, I was hoping this would just give me some new options as things to do, you know? Oh, my RC Explorer got destroyed by some nasty, nasty dust devils. Gosh darn it. All right, let's go ahead and start moving our commander over here. We gotta worry about these. Don't let our drones get caught out. If they do, then, well, more things are gonna malfunction and go horribly, horribly wrong. So you come over here, then get your drones over to the RC Explorer, and by doing so, you can then repair. Okay. So we'll be fine with that in just a moment. That's just a small hindrance. A small little hindrance. Oh, right. Speaking of things to do, we did want to place down another one of these fuel refineries. So we'll do that right here. And we wanted to place down another water vaporator, which we will do right over here. Okay, and then for our pipes, let's go ahead and get these set up like so. And for our wires, we will also set you up like so. Okay, so that's going to get everything hooked up. We may need to get ourselves one more power source. We could go for some solar panels. Does cost metals for maintenance, which is better than machine parts. So I don't mind placing at least a couple of these, though they're obviously very vulnerable to dust devils and stuff like that, or to dust storms. Still, we'll go for it. New anomaly discovered. Okay, that's actually going to boost up our scientific research a bit, which is nice. Drones are already on their way out here to repair the Explorer, so it shouldn't be that much longer, and there we go. All right, so you scan this, and then once done, get down here, hopefully avoiding dust devils in the process. You come back over here and work on this ramp. Okay. I mean, we're looking okay so far. I wouldn't mind getting myself a second concrete extractor at some point. We have enough power, I think, that's going to be coming in pretty soon. How much power are you going to be producing again? I forget. Large solar panels produce 5 by default. We'll place down another one like so. Let's just go ahead and get a couple of those solar panels going. Breakthrough discovered: extractors. Metal extractors and rare metal extractors can work without crews at 50 performance. That's actually pretty helpful because that means the placement of my domes is a little less important than it was before. We could place one, for example, over here and have no domes over in this area. Same with the metals, actually. That might mean that I want to place the dome where we just discovered a vista, increasing the comfort of all residences in the radius of the dome. Ooh, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if that tech's great. I mean, 50 performance isn't awesome because it's going to be slow production, but at least it's passive production. That's huge. I really think we might end up placing a dome down over here now, close to the vista. And more comfortable people can have more berths, and I think are less likely to become renegades in the first place. So that might be awesome. Okay. We'll see what happens. Priority, don't care about that. Finish up with this, and we should get a boost in our science. There it is. Okay, so we just got the extra science from our Explorer, which now doubles how much we get per day. So that should speed up our science by a bit. And actually, you know what? Because this only cost, no, actually just finished automatic. Oh, we were really close to being done with this, and we applied 1,000, and now we got $1 billion. Okay, systematic training is useless to me because I'm not going to have any specialists at the beginning of the game, so that's pointless. Transport optimization, our RC transports harvest faster, could be useful, actually. The rest of this doesn't seem important right now. Maybe this, but not yet. I think we're going to go for the better transports. That should be fine. You're going to go ahead and back off and just get away from all these dust devils, which apparently are electrostatic. Look at all the electricity flowing in those things. No wonder they broke all my drones. So gross. With an extra $1 billion, we should be able to import some extra stuff. The question is, do I want to do that right now, or do I want to wait? And I don't really know. I don't really know is the answer to that. I do know that we want to get another concrete extractor set up, and I'll place you right here, still out of range of everything else, so the dust should not be getting in my way. Let's go ahead and place some power cables up like this. There we go. And also we want to get some more storage placed, probably right around here. There we go. Okay, that's going to double up my concrete production, so we'll be able to construct the dome a little bit sooner. They do take a lot. Sector scanned, found polymers somewhere. This? Yeah, there's a single polymer over here. Well, aren't you generous? Hey, transport, are you working on anything? You're not, actually. Okay. Tell you what, just come over here, grab the polymer, and bring it back. I mean, it's not much, but it's honest work. We'll go with it. So this explorer has nothing to do at the moment. That's going to be fine. We're not producing any power, of course, whenever the solar panels go down. So what I'm going to do, then, with these concrete extractors, at least for now, whenever we're having power issues at night, I'll shut them off at night. That actually will reduce how much maintenance we need, I think. So that should save me at least a few of these precious machine parts. Okay, yeah, case in point, so long as these guys are working, I can't actually produce enough water to keep my fuel refinery going. And that's still priority number 1. Just so we will be able to launch the rocket and pick people up ASAP. Okay? So you are going and delivering the polymers. We will need to create another job, because I know there's some more metals over here out of range. So let's go ahead and pick all of those up, drop them off here. How are we doing with this whole ramp thing? We're still extracting some of the excess waste rock. Looks like none of these drones got hit by the dust devils. That's a terrible thing that can happen, is the dust devils come through, knock out all the drones on your commander, this thing gets shut down, and now until you get another commander, this stuff's all lost. Obviously not the best situation, but really for now, what can you do? This ramp shouldn't take too stinking long, and when that happens, we can explore this entire region. We'll need another ramp down over here, but that's going to be a bit larger, I think. We could go ahead and just plan it out. Ramp... What's going to be, do you think, the shallowest? Maybe from here to... here. That's probably going to be the best we can get. That's still going to take a very long time, unfortunately. Very, very long time. Oh, well. Tis what tis. What can you do? All right. Sector was scanned. We found a lot more stuff over here. Well, that's good news, actually, for my transport. Hi, buddy. When you're done with that metal, I got more stuff for you to do. Apparently. What do we find? Polymers? Yeah, actually a fair bit of polymers and a fair bit more metal. Good. Good. That's actually fantastic. That's less stuff that I need to import. That makes my life easier. Much easier. Thank you. Okay. How are we doing on scanning is the other question. Making progress. Haven't found any more anomalies recently. Hoping we find at least a few more. Once this is all done, we'll go ahead and explore here, I guess. See if we can find anything else down there. Just more resources that we can bring back home, if possible. Let's see. We're producing 21 concrete production per day. That's not bad. That should be enough to get me... That'll be enough to get me a dome in time, I think. Really no problem. I definitely think that I'm going to place it down over here by a vista. I mean, the lower productivity and stuff for the metals and stuff does suck, yes. But, nonetheless, I mean, it's pretty helpful. What's the range look like on this guy? Not great. We could just, if we're bored, have some little flattening projects and stuff. Don't want to block anything, but I mean, yeah, just go ahead and do that. Like, if you guys are bored and the drones have nothing else to do, just go ahead and start flattening out the terrain. I mean, that could be helpful. Maybe, someday. If you ever want to expand up in that direction, it'll be helpful. Transport. Guess what? There's a whole lot more to do. Go ahead and grab all this stuff and bring it all back home. See, this is why I wanted to get a transport kind of early on. I like it. Okay, fuel production. How much are we getting per day? 24 per day, and we are at 61. That means in about a day, in a few hours, we'll have enough fuel to launch up the rocket. Now, if we had gotten lucky, we might have gotten some tech to reduce the cost of launching a rocket in the first place, but we did not. That's okay, though. Not feeling especially worried about it. What's this? Found some metals that just got left behind over here. I'm not too sure how that happened. Huh, weird. Okay, well, either way. Yeah, I'm tempted to spend my money to just go buy some more resources and stuff, but I'm really concerned that if we can't find a consistent way of getting more money, we're gonna find ourselves unable to react. Like, I'm probably gonna need, you know, more machine parts and electronics. Who knows when I'm gonna be able to produce that on my own, because it's entirely dependent on when I get the right engineering tech. I mean, the polymer factory does eliminate at least some problems, but like, when am I gonna find a machine part factory or an electronics factory? I need those. Granted, we could probably get a prefab, and that would help. Actually, that's a very good point now that I think about it. Supply pod, prefab, machine parts factory costs 400 million. Electronics, either 200 for a small one using rare metals, or an electronics one that's a lot larger. Yeah, okay, so saving some cash to be able to buy these factories would be pretty helpful. We're not gonna have a lot of jobs early on. So basically I wanna save at least like $300 million just so I can buy that if we find ourselves in a pinch and I'm running out. Because if we run out of electronics and machine parts and everything starts going into disrepair, I mean, we're probably just gonna lose, right? So let's be very careful to conserve all of our resources appropriately. Very, very careful. New anomalies, finally. Okay, research this thing. Also, we found some more metals. Also a dust devil. Because of course, it looks like we're heading actually kind of in its way. So get over here. Just keep an eye on this. Don't want anything to break down. Got a bit more concrete apparently too. Really? Yeah, there actually is a fair bit more concrete down here and a lot more metals. Now see, placing a dome over here where there's a research site as well as two things of metals, that's tempting. You place one here, we can have a lot more research and we can have fully operational metal extractors, not relying on the passive stuff. So we'll get metals a heck of a lot faster. That could be a very good spot for a dome. Very good spot for a dome. Unfortunately, pretty far away from everything else, so it comes with its own levels of risks. All right, so the rocket is ready to go. We're not gonna load it up with anything. I think we just go ahead and return it to Earth now. And, oh right, I forgot. We don't have, oh, shoot. Launching the rocket has kind of left me in a position of having no control over my drones. That's solvable though. RC Commander, good thing we had one of those. Let's bring you back home. We're gonna have to stop working on the ramp, at least for a little bit. But we should be able to control all these drones and still keep everything nice and running. Oops, haha. Okay, new techs are available. Live from Mars, decommission protocol. You know, this would have been nice to have earlier. More applicants appear on Earth. Since we can only have one rocket, this would have been very nice to have very early on to get the best possible people, at least with the best possible perks. Alas, we're not going to be able to get this by the time that we need to relaunch the rocket. So that's not going to be helpful to me, at least not at the moment. We also have the decommission protocol, salvage and clearing buildings. I mean, it's just okay. I think the next thing we'll go for probably is the breakthrough tech, unless something really cool comes out of this. Which it might. Never know, never know. All right, so drones without controller. We've at least managed to get some of this figured out. Okay, there's our commander, which means most of this is now operating. What's wrong with these guys? They are malfunctioning. We need a few drones to fix all of them up, which they can do. There we go, and now they're operating. Concrete extractor, we got nothing. We need to go ahead and move you over just a little bit so that people can gather up the concrete. Storage space full, we need an actual depot. Okay, let's go ahead and set up a quick little concrete depot right over here, and also a metals depot Well, you're in the way. There we go. Then just a little metals depot right along over here. That way we have some storage space for everything so we don't have to worry about it because there's a lot of metals just sitting there. There we go. All right, now these guys are able to continue working. We have to get up to 80 concrete so that we can build our first dome. Speaking of which, if you take a look at the domes here, placing over here is what we need in order to get the vista. Going to be a little bit tricky just because the drone commander's kind of far away. What I think I'm going to have to go ahead and do then is place down a drone hub. And it's probably large enough that we should be able to build up the dome without any issue, as well as operate everything else that I care about. So yeah, I think we need to go ahead and place right there. Get the drone hub taken care of. That will get me control of all of the drones. That way I can move the commander elsewhere. Did you get ruined again? You sure as heck did. I think you got hit by the dang dust devil. Frustrating little boogers. Okay, no. Don't gather waste rock. I definitely do not care about waste rock. Instead, gather up these metals, and then you can bring those back home instead. There we go. All right, the drone hub is up and running, which means you now can get back down here, save the Explorer once again, which, by the way, does reduce your science generation whenever that thing isn't working. But at least with the drone hub up and running, now we have full control of this area. My drones will continue to work. Okay, this is a good place for us to end this video. Next video, we'll get people to arrive on Mars, and we'll place down a dome, I think. We're making pretty good progress. As long as we don't screw up, maybe we'll be okay. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.